the right talk about the disincentive imposed by high taxes. But they don't emphasize the fact that many farmers, many poor farmers under a sharecropping contract are giving 50%, 30%, or even 75% of the produce to the landlord. So it's a huge tax. And it's not a surprise that countries with, or states with large amounts of sharecropping have problems. In the United States, it was a dominant form of agriculture tendency in the South. And the South was the poorest part of the country. So dealing with converting sharecropping into individuals who own their own land and get the return from their produce, from their productive labor, seems to me an important agenda going forward. Now, the last question, if I understand it, deals with, shouldn't we expect that in a democracy, political parties advance what is in their interest? And there's a whole school of economics called the social choice school, Buchanan, that has emphasized self-interested behavior on the part of politicians. Well, I guess I have a couple of reactions. First of all, it takes a too narrow view of what motivates individuals, particularly in the political context. You look at a lot of the most successful politicians, they're not in it for the money. They're in it because they believe that they want to change, they want to help society. Now, you always have to be suspicious of motives. I understand that view. But to say that that is what is driving everybody's behavior, I think is just wrong. And when I look around the countries that are successful, what I see is political leaders who take a broader perspective. Yes, you have to manage politics. Absolutely, in a democracy, you have to get elected. But the question is, how do you do that? And do you do it by pursuing self-interested policies, or do you do it by pursuing policies that are in the broad general interest? And I think in the end, most citizens wind up supporting policies that they are convinced are in the general interest. What is so interesting to me is in the United States, there are a lot of very wealthy people who've been arguing for low taxes, one of the presidential candidates. But what is also interesting is how many very wealthy people in the United States have been arguing for higher taxes for themselves. Why? In part, I would say it is self-interest rightly understood, enlightened self-interest. They have an interest in living in a society in which there's which functions well. And a society in which divides are too large can't function well. They don't want to live in gated communities. They don't want to feel that they're exploiting others. They want to pay their fair share, but they want other people of their income and wealth to pay a fair share as well. So, in that sense, it's very heartening how many people at the top have been advocating and willing to pay high taxes. Warren Buffett was an example of this, where he said, it's outrageous that I pay lower taxes than my secretary. And he argued also for a higher estate tax. So the notion that everybody in society is always just pursuing self-interest is I think, wrong. I just have to say one more thing about this, a little bit amusing. I talk about this a little bit in my book, The Price of Inequality. Economists make that assumption all the time. So naturally, economists have studied the question of what is the effect of studying economics on people's behavior. And the answer is that the longer people study economics, the more they behave like economists say they should. That is to say, the longer they study economics, the more selfish they become, the more less interested they become in the public good. So I don't want to discourage you from studying economics, but I want those of you who are studying economics to take an antidote against this.
Thank you, Professor Stiglitz, for the engaging lecture and the following discussion. As a small token of our gratitude, I would now like to request our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Nitish Kumar ji, to please present a memento to Professor Stiglitz.
Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you very much. We didn't get to... Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. This is my book, Redefining Capitalism. This is for the minister. Yeah. Right. So can I just... P K Shahi. Yeah.
Please come and give the vote of thanks. Professor Stiglitz will be taking questions from the media once we conclude the proceedings.
Minister Nitish Kumar ji, President of the function, Professor Joseph Stiglitz and Professor Ania Stiglitz, our guest this evening, Sri Sushil Kumar Modi ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Sri P K Shahi ji, Honorable Minister of Education, and ladies and gentlemen. At the end of this remarkable event of ADRI Foundation Lecture, it's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks to you all. For the last 7 days, both myself and Shebal has been receiving innumerable telephone calls inquiring about the lecture of Professor Stiglitz, and that shows how eagerly the intelligentsia of Patna has been waiting for this remarkable function. Towards Thanksgiving, to begin it, I, on behalf of myself and all the members of ADRI, first express our deepest gratitude to Professor Joseph Stiglitz and his loving wife, Professor Ania Stiglitz. When Professor Stiglitz, I mean the husband, had agreed to deliver the ADRI Foundation Lecture, he had asked us to suggest a topic. At that time, coincidentally, I was in the midst of his book, Free Fall. So I had no difficulty in suggesting the topic as redefining capitalism, which could be an exercise in self-criticism. And self-criticism, as you may agree, is the most rewarding criticism. We are indeed delighted that all our expectations of our learning from his scholarship has been fulfilled after listening to this lecture. I'm not here to give a captured version of how to speak, but let me tell you that maybe in Indian conditions, we are not as much bothered about redefining capitalism as the Americans are, because a large part of our economy is still pre-capitalist. We have not reached that stage when capitalism comes. But the basic theme of the lecture, what I was saying, is that the relative role of the two most important institutions, state and market. I think in India, first 4 decades of after independence, we are bothered about, or almost obsessed about, the state. The last 2 stages has been a complete reversal of the topic, and now we have been bothered about the market. From Professor Stiglitz's lecture, now we know that it is not making a choice between the two. It has to be a measured and equilibrium combination between two institutions, state and market. Okay? And towards the role of the market, he underscored many, especially research and development, social protection, social justice, and he also said that contrary to many other people who believe, efficiency and distribution are not by binary choice. One goes with the other. That's, I think, the basic lesson that I learned from Professor Stiglitz's lecture. I don't know how you got it. Friends, I also take this opportunity to express our deepest thanks to Sri Nitish Kumar ji, our Honorable Chief Minister, for presiding over the August function. Ever since he has taken about the responsibility of our state, he has been pursuing this all-important agenda of development agenda, but at the same time has been very mindful promoting different institutions in this state, including ADRI. During all these years, he has been extremely kind to us and supportive to ADRI. He has also been equally kind to us and helped us in reaching our organizational goals. We are grateful to him for all the attention, especially for being us this evening as one of our guests of honor. May I also take this opportunity to thank Sri P K Shahi, our dear Chief Minister of Education, to grace this occasion as a guest of honor. He is another important member of our organizational support system, helping us to shoulder our professional responsibilities. Sir, we are equally grateful to you for attending the function. Friends, it's not very easy to have Professor Stiglitz here because he is not only outstanding and famous, he is also extremely busy. But if we are still able to put ADRI and Bihar in the itinerary of Professor Joseph and Professor Anya Stiglitz, it was because of the utmost cooperation of Sri Anupam Khanna, Chief Economist and Director General Policy Research, India Leadership Forum 230. I thus express our very sincere thanks to Anupamji, and I hope in the future also you would be kind enough to us and help us receive such valuable benefits. Let us also thank all the members of the audience who, by being present here, have made this occasion a great success. I'll take some of the names which are probably worth mentioning. Sri Vijay Kumar Chaudhary, Mr. Dilip Sinha. I'm sure that I have left many other names, but it's not possible for to count it. I express my deepest thanks to all of you for being us here. Friends, I also must express our special thanks to the state government for having Professor Stiglitz and Mr. Stiglitz, our state guest, for last 3 days. They had made arrangements for their travel to Lananda, to Bodh Gaya, and one of the senior functionaries, principal secretaries, Sri Chanchal Kumar, has been with the couple, giving them, and they were giving their words of appreciation. We also thank them. I also thank the management of Hotel Moria, who have made their stay here hopefully comfortable, in spite of the severe winter. And I hope we have been receiving such cooperation before, and we hope to get it before also. Finally, I express my thanks to the media, both print media and the electronic media, for giving wide coverage to the visit of Professor Stiglitz and Mrs. Stiglitz. And I hope tomorrow also, the lecture that we had will get an extensive coverage. With these words, I thank you all again. Thank you.
I only wish the leaders of the government take some inspiration from the lecture.